2003 Chevy Tahoe starter. I'm not gonna show you how to do the whole job, just a few tricks. So here's the two primary starter bolts, 13 millimeter. Let's turn around here. I know it's gonna be kind of screwed up looking, but there's a bolt here. There's a plastic cover that covers the bell housing, and I know I don't have that good of a view. It's a 10 millimeter bolt there. The plastic shield goes around the starter. It's a little rounded flange. It sits probably yay deep in the bell housing. The plastic flange has to come out with the starter to remove the starter. But 37 foot-pounds torque on the starter bolts, and this little electrical clip here, you got to pull it, and to access it right there, get a pick or a screwdriver in behind it and pop it up and pull it out that way. There is a heat shield that goes on top of the starter. I'll show you that here in just a second. Alright guys, you see some videos on YouTube where people are pulling the starter, like they'll have the vehicle on a lift and they'll pull the starter from below. It's a royal pain in the butt, and you risk tearing wires up and all kinds of stuff. So my recommendation, and a big time saver, is go on and pull your front wheel off, and then the plastic fender well panel, it just uses the plastic clip deals. Let's see if I got them. Where are they? It just takes those pry tools there, pop them out. Go on Amazon and order you some of the new clips to fit in your sheet metal. They won't hold right. They're not much. But here's access over the frame to the starter. Now I got the heat shield off now. Yesterday I tried putting the starter in from the bottom, and with the heat shield on, that's a no-go. It just ain't going. And so I raised the vehicle with the jack, and I got 3 jack stands underneath there, as you see, bottoming out on the frame. So the main thing is be safe. Of course, the tire under the vehicle is good in thought, but if that thing falls, it's crushing you, unless you're super duper skinny. But then if you got your arms up or something, it's going to just shatter your arms. Anyway, pull the fender well cover off and go through over the top of the frame. I got great big hands, and I could get my hands in there. It's not super easy, but it's a heck of a lot easier than going in through the bottom. So right now what I got left, slid the fasteners in over top of the frame with my left hand and put the lock washer and the nuts on. Now I got to finish tightening them up and then put the heat shield on. Here's the heat shield, and it's pretty self-explanatory. These clamps go around that top round part, the shiny silver with the contacts on it. And there's a little hump. Show you here. There's a little hump on that little round piece there. It's self-explanatory how it just pops down over there. But you see your exhaust manifold right there, just helps prevent from cooking everything. Anyway, get back under the vehicle, I'll show you one little other thing. So, like I'd recommend, pull your passenger wheel off, and then the fender well shield. I'd go ahead and pull the heat shield off before, it'll be up above. Just reach above your frame and pop it off, because you don't have any room to move that starter. And it's got to go back and up a little bit to free it from the bell housing deal here, the plastic piece. With that heat shield on, it is a pain in the butt. And can't really see it from here, but your oil dipstick tube goes in the block somewhere up in there. And in my experience, if you don't remove that heat shield first and you're trying to manipulate the starter, you scratch the hell out of your dipstick filler tube. Anyway, just pop that shield, you're going to be better off, and go over top of the frame, and that's just the best way to do it. The guys showing you going all the way through the bottom, they're not showing everything on the pain in the ass that it is, so that's my recommendation. Oh, also, I'll show you this. GM's wire looming skills suck, so I rewrap those. And also, if you've never done the starter, your primary wires here make a Y under the starter. If you pull this starter from the bottom and down and then hook your wires up here, you have no room to work up here. If you hook your wires on first and try cramming all that crap up in there, then your wires might end up on top of the starter, and then your exhaust manifold is just going to cook them. So make sure your wires do that Y up under the starter, and then you're right. Anyway, just some little tips I've gathered. Oh yeah, a couple other little things. The fasteners on your starter wires that you need to remove, it's self-explanatory, just check it out. From the factory is a 10mm. The little one here, no, that's an 8mm, excuse me. 8mm. And then a 13, let's see here. So that's an 8mm there. And then this one here is a 13. Oh yeah, also, let's see here. Can't really see too much, it's just it's killing me. I'm making sure that I pull these wires down far away from that exhaust manifold as possible to keep from cooking all that wire. Anyway, if you can get a torque wrench on that, good luck. So we ain't even worried about that. Just use your head on torquing those out. And last little thing here, I got this little stubby ratchet from Harbor Freight. Black Friday, they were running 40% off. It's a 3/8 drive. Anyway, that baby will fit in there nicely. So that's helped me out. So, oh yeah, last little thing. So the starter nut, the contact nut there from the factory, I'm pretty sure was a 13mm. And the ones on I got an AC Delco starter, it's a 14. So keep that in mind when you're up under a vehicle and you can't hardly move. So the new ones, the one I got's got a 14 on it, 14 and an 8.